So today I'm going to lift the veil. I'm going to let out all the secrets us motovloggers don't want you to know. Today I'm going to show you how we make a video. You want to know the secrets, the hidden tips, the magic? Well, come here, I'll tell you something. There ain't no secrets. There's nothing secret or magic about how we make our videos. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you the equipment we use to make the videos, the software I use for editing and post-production, and how it all goes together. Now when we go out, we've got about 3 to 4 riders average, so we've got quite a few cameras that I have to take into consideration. And what I'm going to show you is how we sync the cameras on the software to get them all lined up so all conversations are in time with each other. There's a few motovloggers out there who solo, they're just single vloggers, so obviously it's just their voice and their camera. So it's a lot easier to do with the one camera. Gets a bit tricky when there's a few cameras you've got to sync. But we're going to show you how you do it, and how you do all this you could easily find on YouTube. But first, we need a bike. So you're going to have a look at the bike. I'm going to finish my coffee. So I'll see you after. So there we go. That's my Fireblade. That is my motovlogging vehicle. So in my little den, got all my camping gear when we do our tours: panniers, tent bags, waterproof bags, top box, phone mounts. So I have this bracket here which has the camera which faces me. So that's the view you see when you can see my helmet and me front on. It's that camera there what does it. Got another little bracket here for my phone holder, for my sat nav. And that's the main beast. There's nothing much else on the bike which really contributes to the video, apart from just being her sexy self. So what I'll do now, I'll now take you indoors and we'll go and have a look at the magic box. And the first little trick is you're probably wondering why I've got my headset in for my phone. So what I'm doing at the moment now, I'm filming on my phone. So if any of you need to do any filming and you need your voice on there and you haven't got your helmet on, use your phone, but put your headset in, and the microphone part will pick up your voice. It'll pick up your voice a lot clearer than the actual microphone built into the phone. Just in there you'll pick up a lot of the room noise and echoing. Right then, so the equipment we use. First things first, obviously, you need an helmet. So this is my helmet. This is where I have a camera. I have a camera. And there I have my intercom. So this will show you the setup. So this is the magic box. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we'll start from the top. Got my earphones, which plug into my intercom. I don't usually use the speakers inside the helmet. I prefer to use these because they cut down on wind noise as well. Got myself a power bank in case I'm out and I need to charge anything. Drift remote control if I need to use it to control the camera. That's Matt's Ghost X for his helmet. I've got that with me. Here I've got a spare intercom in case I need to put it in my spare helmet if I'm taking out a pillion anywhere. So, in here we've got all the GoPro mounts and sticky pads, so we've got plenty of mounts to use. We've got all the cables I need to charge the drift batteries, charge the intercom, microphone connectors, so every lead you can think of, all the cameras, they're all in there. Right, on this side, got my Ghost 4K, my extended battery, the Ghost XL, which goes on the bike facing me. We've got the WeView 3D camera, which we're about to start to use that, so look out for that. There's my intercom, the Cardo Scala Rider Pack Talk. We've got memory cards, a few little bits and pieces, earphone extensions, all the drift brackets and mounts go in there. This is just a box full of all different types of mounts and screws. Right, so the main part at the bottom, we've got selfie stick. I'll say that again, selfie stick, which we normally put the GoPro on. Waterproof case. Another mount with a suction cup. Another GoPro bracket. GoPro bracket with an external battery. My camping torch, which goes on my head, so that comes in handy. Another part, which is a brilliant one, is a head mounted bracket. So what I will do, if I just get my phone, turn the camera around, which is what I'm wearing now, so you can put it on your head and you can film what you're looking at. So we've got a gimbal, which we use for the GoPros and for the WeView. I've got my multi-USB charger, so when we're away camping I can plug all the cameras in, charge everything at the same time. We've got the remote control for the drone, and then in the bottom here, in this box, which just about fits, is the DJI Spark drone. So you know, we like to do a bit of our drone footage. So that's the equipment I have to motovlog. So I'll just show you the setup, how it goes on my helmet. Right, so this side I have my intercom. This side I have my Drift Ghost 4K. So that's my main camera. Now it looks like it's on a bit up of an angle, but riding a sports bike, I lean forward so my helmet's kind of like that. So that's why the camera is that angle. At the back here is the new feature now. I've added the GoPro on the back so I can get a rear view, and that's the footage we're going to look at today. So how this works is I plug in my microphone, which is wired into my helmet. So if you, right, let's get the light on, let's see if we can see in there. So I don't know if you can see very well, but that microphone there, if you can see, there's two wires going into it. So in there, I've got the two microphones. So I've got one microphone which comes off my camera, and that records my voice to the video footage, what you see. The other microphone comes this way and is connected to my intercom, and that's just for me to talk to the other guys. None of that is recorded onto the camera. Only the camera mic records my voice, what you see on the footage. So that's my setup. That's how I make my motovlogs. The other guys are the same. They've got the intercom and they've got their camera with their mic set up. And another thing, it's always handy to have an half decent camera, a DSLR, so if ever you're out taking some pictures, that comes in handy. So that's the equipment I use. So what I'll do now, this morning I went out on the bike with 3 cameras on. I had the Ghost Drift 4K, my main camera. I had the GoPro on the back, which is the one on my head now, filming backwards. And I also had the Ghost XL on the bike facing me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the software I use and importing all 3 clips from those cameras and how I sync the 3 together and do a little bit of editing, add an intro into it, adjust the audio of my voice, and we'll see a little produced video at the end. So from now, let's go and have a look at what software we use. So here we are. This is my setup and this is the software I use, and my main computer is an iMac 27-inch, so I've got the nice good screen, and the software I use is Final Cut Pro. So this is my editing software. So what I did earlier then, I went out on the bike. I only went round the block once, so literally out for 3 or 4 minutes, and I used 3 cameras. So I used the forward facing camera on the bike, which faces me, so it's a view of my helmet. I had the camera on my helmet facing forward, and I also had the camera on the back of my helmet facing backwards. So we're going to make a little video. I'll show you how I put it together and how I edit it with those 3 cameras and how we sync the cameras. So I've imported the footage. So we've got the 4K file. That's the one on my helmet facing forward. We've got the rear view, and we've also got the XL, which is the one facing me. Now already there is a problem with the XL file, the XL camera file, so I'll show you. So what we're going to do first, so this is my screen and this is my timeline where I edit. So first things first, we need the Motourev intro. So this is my external drive, so I'll keep all the files on there, photos, thumbnails, intros and endings. Intro. So I drag and drop the intro. I'll close it for now, I don't need it. So that's the Motourev intro. Those who've watched the channel, you're all aware of what it is. So it starts off. Goes into the drift logo. Then it fades out to black, and then obviously we go into our first scene. So, right. So what I normally do here, I always import right next to the intro the camera I've pressed record on first, because obviously that will be the earliest time frame. And I always use the 4K camera on my helmet facing forward, because that's the one what's got the microphone in for my voice. So the 4K will be the very first footage. There we go. There's the camera. And I also like, and how I use my timeline, I like to have the video clips and also the audio underneath so I can see the spikes. Now obviously you can see here. Let's have a quick look and listen. Press space to play. A little video today. So what I need to do now, if I just go back to that part, I'll explain why. Why I press the horn. There's a reason I press the horn. Right, so now if we go to the XL camera, which is the one facing me, now straight away I can see the problem with the camera. I'd got the lens turned vertical, so obviously it's now in portrait mode. So what I need to do, I need to get on my transform, and what I'm going to do, if I turn the footage 90 degrees, then what I will do, I'll have the main view of my camera facing forward, and then this clip facing me, I'll have this just as a little clip in the corner. So what I'm going to do straight away is I'm going to crop this video. I only want to see that bit, and I only want to see that bit, and that bit. Right, so I'm going to have that. So I have that bit, I think, in that corner. So what we've got now is we've got the forward facing, and the camera there, as you can see on the screen, is producing that image. Right, so now what happened as well is I used the horn. Now on all three cameras it should have picked up the horn, and I can use, if we can see, if I bring up it up, that part there, those two spikes, I can find them in the other camera and then line them up. So let's have a look. So I'm going to pull down the volume on the main camera and I'm going to listen to this camera. There, can you see? So now if I bring that one back up, so I need to align these two. And what will happen then, if say this was another camera of two people speaking, aligning these two then would make our conversations be in sync with each other. So let's have a listen. That's it. So I've now got that first beep and the second beep lined up with each other. If they were slightly out, you'd get a bit, it'd sound a bit like an echo. Move it a bit more. A bit more. That sounds about right. Okay. If I shrink the timeline, so we've got the intro. So let's come out of the intro and let's see how it plays straight away. There's me switching on the camera. That's on. I now switch on that camera. There you go. Now obviously on this camera it's using the onboard mic, so it's picking up a lot of the engine noise, so obviously this, as you can hear when I'm riding the bike, it's quite loud.
I've also got a third camera now on the back of my helmet.
So what I will do, I will bring down the volume on the bike.
Okay, then we're now on the back of my helmet. So I'm literally just going to go around the block.
There we go. So that's them two are aligned. So what I need to do now is align the third one. And same again, if I find the horn, which I believe was there. Right, rear view. So I'm now going to add this camera. I'll put it on top. And I believe that's the horn there. Yeah. So let's have a listen. Slightly out. So there's the spike. Move that one there. Let's have a listen. That sounds about right. Now the rear view camera, I'm just going to switch the audio off completely on that. I don't really need the audio on that. Right. So you can see there's the 4K camera. I then switch on the front camera and that clip comes into play. I then switch on the rear view camera and that one comes into play. So what we'll do actually, the rear view camera will make the same. I'll bring that down. And we'll have that one up here. So we make it about the same size as that. A little bit dark today as well. It was quite wobbly this morning. Right, and let's crop it. We'll have there and there. Right, let's have a look, see what it's like. So I've now got the 3 cameras all synced together. I'm now pressing the rear view camera on the helmet on.
And that's on.
There we go. So we've now got all 3 cameras.
Phone.
That's all synced up.
Okay then, YouTube.
So what I can do now,
making...
so now I can actually edit the video. So what I'm going to do is on this clip first, which is the 4K, I'm going to just check the colour board. So it looks a bit dull. So saturation, I normally have the saturation about 15 on the 4K. Right, let's check the XL. Now also it was quite dark, so I want to check the exposure on that. So if I view the video scope, right, and I can see here these spikes are going above the 100 line and there's a couple going below the 0, so that's if it's overexposed, and this is bringing it too much dark. So what we're going to do, if we look on the left, we're going to bring them down, bringing them up. We can make, if you look at the square there, you'll see the difference it's making. So I'll bring it up just a touch. That's that one. Let's just check. Now this one's quite, the rear view one is quite dull because that was looking directly at the sky behind me. So that's not too bad actually. There's not a lot I can do with that. Right, so the video scope. Right, so there's our 3 cameras all synced up. So now, what I want to do now is, you can see that line, I want to chop where I want the video to start. So the intro ends there. So on my Mac, I command and beat. As you can see there, it's put a little line. So this bit, I can delete it, I don't want it. So as soon as the drift logo goes, it goes into the footage. I don't want any of this bit. So I only really want where I start talking.
Okay then, YouTube.
About there. Get rid of this. We'll get rid of the sniff. I'd say about there. So now, as you can see that line, I've chopped all of these, so all of this I don't want. So now after the intro, it should go into all 3 cameras and me starting to talk. Drift logo.
Okay then, YouTube. So we are making a little video today.
So what we're going to do next,
of how,
before we do that, I'm just going to tweak the audio on my mic because my voice is very deep and I normally have to go onto voice enhance, and basically what it does, it drops the low end frequency, the bass down, brings the high end frequency up the treble and makes my voice a little bit more clearer. So let's have a listen.
Of how we make our motovlogs and how we set the cameras up and how we edit.
Right, so I've got all that there. What I will do now, I will just go through and pick some scenes I want. I'll do the same again. I'll chop out sections I don't want, so the video's all together, and then we'll put a few little effects in between and see how that works. So I'll come back to you once all that's been done. And there's somebody at the front door. Right, so we're back. So we've got all our clips, what we want, and they're all in chunks. Now what I've done on this one, on this clip, I've taken the rear view camera, which is this clip here, and I've turned it back to full screen. So what we're going to do, we're going to go from this view and then into the rear view. So let's have a look.
And then we sync all three cameras.
So there we go, we jump to the next clip.
The reason for blasting the horn. So today,
so on that bit, what we're going to do, where it changes from the rear view back into the front view, we're going to put a break, we're going to put an effect in. We're going to fade them two together. So what we need to do is, all these three clips, I need to make them as one. So we're going to select them all and create a new compound clip. So they're all now
we are making
one clip. We're going to do the same with this one. We're going to turn it into a compound clip.
And then we sync all three cameras. And the reason for blasting the horn.
And then we don't want to just jump to this clip, so let's turn those into a clip, and we're going to put a transition in between these two. So we can drag a crossfade, create, we don't want that one.
And then we sync all three cameras. And the reason for blasting the horn. So today we're going to make a little video.
There we go. But instead of fading into that clip, what we're going to do, I'm going to put a little commercial break in between. So I'm going to grab just a black clip, so that'll just fade out to black.
For blasting the horn.
Stop it there. I'm going to trim it, get rid of that bit. Go back in my Motourev folder, intros and endings, blue. My file's called blue, and this is where I put the little blue Motourev clip. So let's try it.
The horn.
And from there, we go straight back into the clips. So let's have a look.
For blasting the horn. So today we're going to make a little video on how we motovlog and how I do all of the editing.
So now there, can you see there's a gap where I don't speak?
A little video on how we motovlog.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this part out
And how I do all of the
and jump straight back to that bit. So we'll have it there, we'll cut, we'll have it there, we'll cut, and we'll get rid of that. Let's try it.
So today we're going to make a little video on how we motovlog and how I do all of the editing.
So let's cut out that pause.
And how I do all of the editing and synchronise the cameras, because I've now got a third camera on the back of my helmet.
And then this bit is me putting the bike back. There's not a lot of audio there, so what we're going to do, audio's down on that. I'm going to take down all of the audio channels. Same again. We're going to fade that clip out. The cross dissolve there, and cross dissolve there. We don't want that one.
I've now got a third camera on the back of my helmet.
Let's shorten that a bit.
There's a third camera on the back of my arm. On the back of my helmet.
Okay, we'll stop it there. So what we'll do on this one, let's not have the view of me, let's just have me driving up. We're not going to have the rear view camera in, so that one we will disable. So the clip's still there, but you can't view it. There's me going up the path. Now here, which we don't want none of that view, so we're going to disable all of them. So from this clip we're going to jump into the rear view. So instead of having the rear view here, I'm going to set my transform, shrink down that a bit and bring the footage back to full size. Extend that one back. So we should now change to the rear view. There we go. And then the last bit, we'll clip, let's cut it there, disable the rear view camera. So that's disabled, the view of me is disabled, so all we've got now is the front viewing cable camera. So let's see. Go. And we'll fade out to black at the end of the film. And what we'll do on this section here, we'll put some music on. So let's try, what's this? Yep, we'll go with that. So if we have that, so it goes. What we'll do, we'll cut it there. We don't want that bit, that little blob there, but pull that to about there, make it linear, and then that, as you can see, will fade out. So that's all our clips edited together. So what I can do now is I can select them all, make it into one clip. I now want to put a limiter on, levels limiter, and that will stop anything going too loud with the audio channels, where you can see these yellow spikes. So this should control them. So that's now our video complete. We've done a few transitions, a few different angles, we've blended in, we've added some music, and we've faded out. That's all I need to do now. File, share, master file. This will now render all that footage together, make all the transitions smooth. Let's call it How to Motovlog 2. File's going to be 228 megabytes long, so it's not a massive video. Next, put it to the desktop. That's now going to render that video and save it as a file. So what we'll do now, I'll speed the time up. The video's processed, it's rendered, it's all complete, and we'll watch the video now. So let's press play.
Okay then YouTube, so we are making a little video today of how we make our motovlogs and how we set the cameras up and how we edit. And I've also got a third camera now on the back of my helmet, so I'm literally just going to go around the block with this footage, and then we're going to show you how I will edit these together and how I sync all three cameras and the reason for blasting the horn. So today we're going to make a little video on how we motovlog and how I do all of the editing and synchronise the cameras, because I've now got a third camera on the back of my helmet.
So you've just watched the completed video, and that's it all put together. Another thing which I use sometimes is at the beginning of this, when I showed you how I blasted the horn on the bike to align the audio up. Obviously sometimes the other guys might switch their cameras on 2 or 3 minutes after I've switched mine on, so I haven't picked up any horn on their audio feed. So another way to align footage is by using line of sight. So what you can do is, if I do an example on this clip, let's say, right, on this clip I will look out for the edge here of this wall, and what will happen is as the edge of the wall is more or less level with me on this little yellow line, I put the marker there so I know that's where the wall disappears. Now on the other camera you look for the same thing. There's the edge of the wall, but obviously this is facing backwards, but if that was another guy's camera behind me, I would look at me and let's say that's where I pass that wall. I would hold with the cursor and bring their camera in line with mine. So that way I use line of sight to align footage sometimes. That works quite well. Final Cut Pro has got a little plug-in in there where it will scan all of the video files, it will listen to the audio and it will align them up automatically. But obviously when you've got like hours and hours of video clips here and probably 6 or 7 different feeds, rear view cameras, front cameras, audio channels, music, I mean, to render some of this automatically, I've done it before and it's been over 24 hours for it to align the footage up, so I find to line it up this way, do it manually, and I believe a lot of motovloggers do their channels that way. Obviously there's loads of different softwares out there, so there's different ways and different softwares of doing it, but that's how I do it. It works for me. I've made all our videos this way and I'm quite comfortable with it. It's not a hard thing to do. It's not as hard as people think it is, and obviously different softwares out there will do things different ways. Some of them might be easier, there might be easier ways of aligning your footage, but this is how it works in Final Cut Pro, and there's probably a million things in this software I don't know what to do or how to use it. Some of you out there might want to leave me some comments saying, have you tried this, do this. So you make it work to how it works for you. So there we go, that's it. That's how we make our video. As you can see, there's no hidden secrets, no magic involved. Just a couple of cameras and a bit of software. The biggest thing with the post-production, the editing, is the time it takes to do it. And what I found is if we go out for a ride for the day and we've got, say, 2 hours worth of footage, for me to go through editing that, you might get 10 minutes of that you just want to use. And what I found, average for about a 10-minute video, you're probably looking between 5 and 6 hours editing time, because obviously you've got to look through every camera, listen to every conversation, and obviously you've got to piece that together, pick the bits you want. So it's quite a lengthy process to do it. Now, for example, the Isle of Wight, that was about a 5-episode series, I believe. So obviously we was there literally over 2 days. So the amount of footage we had for the 2 days was phenomenal. So making the 5 episodes, I was probably into 40, 50 hours just to make that series. So that's a full on week to put that together, picking music, picking the audio, balancing the audio, EQing each person's audio. I mean, a lot of motovloggers, they spend a hell of a lot longer in post-production than I do, checking every single colour balance, exposures, white balance. I'll just basically give it a little bit of a tweak, and I'll try and keep it as natural as I can. So really what you see is really what we caught on camera and what happened. I don't want to go, it's nice to have a nice few little fancy transitions in between, some intros and a bit of music on there, but I don't go too overboard with it. Try and keep it as it is. So there you go, that's how you do it. There's nothing special involved, there's no secrets there. Anybody can go and do it. You can go and do it in iMovie, which is free now on Macs. Movie Maker, I believe it's possible to even do it in that on Windows. So you don't really need the fancy editing software. It comes in handy because you can do a lot more in there, but you don't need it. I probably would find it quite hard with some of these smaller editing softwares like iMovie to do the amount of cameras we've got. That'll probably be quite difficult to do it. So hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something. If you're not a motovlogger and you want to get into it, maybe this may help you. If you're a motovlogger, there's nothing in there new you don't already know. You might even look at it and thinking, why are you doing it that way when you can do it this way? That's the way we do it, it's the way it works for us. So if you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you've just watched this video because you're just looking at getting into motovlogging and you wanted some tips, I hope it worked for you. But pop over and have a look at our other videos, see if you like them. And that's the finished product of what comes out of it. So for now, people, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you when we're next out on the bikes. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy that.